Hello everyone, it's Christina with my24plant.com. Today's video is going to be 2020 quarter one goals. Hello everyone, it's Christina. Today we are doing 2020 planner lineup part 2. So this is not anything like what I said I was going to do, is it? As you can see, I am back in my traveler's notebook. Initially, I was going to use kind of like a Hobonichi style cover for my Hobonichi Day Free, which is in here, which you will see. And then I was going to use an A5 Filofax for my companion. That companion was kind of heavy, and also it was just, I wasn't reaching for it. That's the honest truth. I was not reaching for it. And so I want to make sure that I want to use what I have. And I kind of liked it, but I kind of had it a little bit overstuffed because there were so many other parts. And at that time, when I set it up, I was fearful of running out of space in the Hobonichi Day Free. So let me show you now what I'm using. This is it. This is an A5 Traveler's Notebook. Okay, so it's still, here's a side view. Well, kind of opened. And top. So it's still, kind of large. Okay, but it's not, it doesn't seem as heavy to me as the Filofax did. On the front here, I have an Energel Brown 0.7. And on the side, this pen came from Target. And I will show you why I'm using that. So I'm going to do basically a flip through, and while I'm flipping through, I'm going to be telling you what I'm using each booklet for and kind of how things work together. So the first thing I want to say, so I don't repeat myself throughout, is I did make my own top loading dashboards, and they were fairly simple to make. I mean, they're not complicated. They take a little bit of time, but now I can just change out the papers whenever I want to. And that was like a genius idea. And 1,000,001 people are doing it. And I never thought about it. So right now I just have this typewriter card in here from Yellow Paper House. And it has the 2020 year at a glance there. I do have vellum in here as well. For like each insert, and then I'm trying to put in even more of these adhesive pockets, and you can get these at the dollar spot at Target, which are like $3 I think, but or on Amazon if you're needing some before those are available at Target. And I just try to decorate a little bit, putting some stickers in, putting some little die cuts in. I don't have a whole lot. Hoping to get or make more. Right here, I just have a little notepad, hold on with the bulldog clip. And then yesterday I went through also and did a lot of acrylic painting in my inserts because I just love the texture. I think it's just the texture. And the pages, I love the crinkly. I love them to be able to flip because they're so stuck together without anything on them. And it just bothers me. Like, I want it to be used. That's what I kind of got over. We're going to be into my Hobonichi Day Free in just the next insert, okay? But I had to get over that fear of not using my inserts because the reason why I purchased them is to use them. Now, I don't want to be just scribbling on purpose, or writing like crazy big or diagonal and screwing up a whole page or something like that. But I do want to use my inserts. So I'm taking some notes here on AT school, which, if you guys don't know, is our currently kindergarten homeschool for Alex, my 4.5-year-old. And that is not, I was just kind of playing around. But basically, I just laid down paint rather. I just laid down paint. And some of them are more than other pages, but they all have ink on them. Or, good grief. They all have acrylic paints on them now. And I tried to do some labeling at the top. And I'll go back and take my marker and like write up here like ideas for AT school or whatever, so I can label the page. And then I keep on with that idea until I fill the page, and then I move on to the next one. And of course, these are the back sides. So this came in like an order I did from overseas somewhere. I'd have to look it up. But like these little vintage, and they're just little pieces of paper where you can just make notes, you know. If you decided to, you could glue those into your pages, or you can washi tape them in, or you could transfer them onto the paper and toss it. I mean, it's, you know, the possibilities are endless for that. A few of these dashboards where I still need to add in some paper, and this is one of them. Okay, so next we have the Hobonichi Day Free. And this is the cool thing, and this is kind of what sold me on that. Well, one of the things that sold me on these top-loading dashboards is that you can add, look at this. Me and my fat fingers can fit in there with everything else that's already in here. And someone had made a comment about the Foxy Fix top-loading dashboards not being able to, it barely holds one piece of paper or two, you know, like double-sided. This, I have stickers in there. And there's plenty more space. Not that I would put anything bulky in there, but I could add some more sticker sheets, definitely. So I really liked that idea. I'm trying to keep this straight for you guys. Okay, so right here we have the Day Free Hobonichi. That's all the sound effects I got, people. All right, so again, I have a little notepad, and it's bulldog clipped. And then I added just a little color there. Okay, so there's nothing on these pages yet. These will be used for reference, I'm sure. Somehow, you know, it's almost like a tracker because there's no daily page to refer back to. So I guess you could write, even if you had something on January 1st, on your January 1st page, you could, you know, or you could number the pages, those note pages, and still use it as a daily, a traditional, a techo or whatever, or a VEC. But, or you could just use it as a tracker, like, you know, Wasilla or nail fill, new set, haircut, like things that I can't remember. You know, there's different ways to use that, but I did put my haircut in here from December. And then on these, I used a light blue, again, because the pages are sticking together, even in this Hobonichi. I do think that I'm going to end up date covering these. I got a little heavy-handed on some of them, and like my payday. You know, I had already had those stickers laid down, and so maybe I'll go over those with my jelly roll pen or something. But I just did the 12 months. I didn't do the other ones because it has January, February, March of 2021. And so this is not labeled, but I started, what did I do? December 30th. So I think that sounds right, on the Monday. And using a day per page, and that was gonna last me like, I think 6 months. I think that's what I said in my part 1, right? But I'm gonna keep going here. I ended up using these pages as fill-in because I didn't write anything down, or I just wrote like a couple of things up here, so I wanted to make sure that I got use out of the space. Sticky notes already happening. Again, I'm still with the day per page. But you see, I wasn't writing as much. Now, let me also say here, I don't have any AT school going on. I don't have any My 24 plan going on. And I wasn't pre-planning like I should have been at this time in January. So we continue on. I'm using that date stamper, like the old school ink it and stamp. And this is how it kind of shows up like that. So here we are this week. Look at this. So this is not very intense to create. That was one of the reasons why I didn't like bullet journaling. The main reason is all of the future planning that happens and not having a place to house all of that. And drawing out the layouts 50,000 times. I typically would just print things out and then tape them on or glue them in or washi tape. So I would have technically been stamping each page anyway, right? To date it. So that's not a big deal. And I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. That's it. So now what I can do is make, I can use this page as a guide and make the little marks, where it would be, and then draw my, use my ruler and draw the lines across. And again here. And using this next one, once this one gets drawn in. So I can actually start putting more weeks in here. This, it kind of started out right now is like after the fact, I just kind of jotted down what happened that day or things that I wanted to remember. And so over here can be all the things. It can change each time. I think that if I were to preset this up, I would just do this portion and leave this, and that way this part can change. But this part is probably going to stay the same every single time. So I can put my to-dos over here. I can put day specific, like record video. But then over here, I could put all the details if I wanted to. You see what I'm saying? Or laundry or, dishwasher, like kind of shorter phrased things over here, and appointments. Obviously, my mama's birthday was yesterday, and I don't think she watches my videos, but if she does, happy birthday, Mom. So I can set those up like that. So that's my intention. And if I do that, I should be able to have plenty of space for the whole entire year in this. And I had this layout when I was in school, when I was getting my associate's degree online. I had this layout and I really liked it. Like you could just use this as notebook paper, like one line, keep going, keep going. You could split it, you could quarter it. The possibilities are endless for this side of the page, and I think that it allows enough space. Now remember, I could take a little bit of notes in here in this portion, but that's not really what this is intended for. This is intended for tasks that I need to do, okay? So that's the end of that. I do have this I found that I had made previously, like a while back, that I had laminated, and it's got some pretty little flamingos with a gradient pink. And then this is like super sparkly with some purple. And then I just laminated it. It does have some paint on it that I got on there by accident yesterday. But and then in the back here, I'm going to cover that up. I was trying something and now it looks gross. But in the back here, I did print out quarterly months, and that way I can write out my quarterly goals inside my Hobonichi. I am still using the power sheets, but I wanted to have it with me as well, and I'm not carrying the power sheets around. And again, I was experimenting. It's not a big deal. I'm going to take care of that the next time you see it. It'll be gone. Okay. So these 4 pages right here have the quarterlies on there. There are quite a few. I'm tracking my weight, which I'm not going to show you. We started the diabetic plate method back on January 6th. And so I wrote that date down, and then I documented my weight on the 8th. I believe I weighed myself, and then I weighed myself yesterday. And I will say this, I am down 2.3 pounds. So I'm super excited about that. Here is where I did some pen testing. And for me, I know a lot of people are able to use other types of pens in their Hobonichi. And I do think that it's depending on how much ink you let out, how you write, how you hold it, how long you're leaving your book open, those type of things. Those are all factors. Just like when I do my date stamping, I have to wait a few minutes and let that dry before I turn the page, right? And so for me, I let it dry for just like a few seconds, and then tried it, and like everything was smearing except for this, and it's like old school, and so that's what I'm using, and I'm okay with that. So whatever. I do have here in this pocket some of the Post-it tabs, Post-it notes, and some vellum, and then this is the back side of the dashboard. So that's why I put that pen holder on that spot and have that pen right there. So the next thing is I have these little houses. I don't know how well they're focusing, but they're so cute because this is a laminate sheet, so it may be kind of blurry, but they are so cute. So just like lined them up on this side, and then I lined some more up on that side. So I thought they were really cute. So here I have 2 books on the next string, and this is for my 24 plan. So it does say idea on the front. I'm using it for ideas from the front. And then I'm using it, and I added some paint in here as well. Just kind of do a quick flip here. And I didn't paint all the pages in my Hobonichi yet either, but some, to kind of get started because I was getting kind of tired. And then I'm kind of doing some to-dos from the back, working my way. So maybe they'll meet in the middle. And then, again, a pocket with some little pretties in here, and my little flamingo watching TV. And then this is my content notebook. I pretty much just did paint up here, again using it as almost like a label to where I can make some more notes. I like having labels. I don't want to sit there and search for things, and so I just kind of do like keywords or short phrases to indicate what I'm putting on, what the information is on this page. And so that's just a lined notebook from Lucky Little Planner on Etsy. And then I do have a couple I need to cut some paper for, but I did use my scraps. So the other side that came out of the laminating machine, sorry, pause a second. So the other part of the page that was not used for the pocket on my laminating pages for my dashboards, I still used that as almost like I guess it would be like a flyleaf, or I guess you could still call it a dashboard. So you could still put the adhesive pocket on it, and this Post-it notes love this. So I still use those. And for all of those dashboards and for these scrap pieces, I use clear packing tape to leave that gap. So you would lay them out like this, and the gap between my 2 pinkies would be the gap, and that's where your clear packing tape would be if you laid out both of your sides. If you guys want to see a tutorial on how I did that, I can make another one, make another dashboard and show you. I'd say like this one, I need to put some paper on the back side. But by the time I was making them and all the things, I was kind of getting tired and my kids were getting restless, so I had to move on. This is vellum, which is super pretty. Okay, so this is the AT school. I think that I'm going to use, I'm either going to do 2 days per page. I think 2 days per page. And this will last me a while. I think it was like, I can't remember. There's a lot of paper in here. When you start painting your notebooks, there's a lot of paper. So basically I just decorated the very top. I didn't do down here. I just painted up there. Again, I can write over it with a, colored marker or whatever to label it, that page. And I didn't want a lot of fluff behind there because this is my first year homeschooling, and so I really need to see what I'm doing. Don't need any distractions. And this notepad actually fits in that pocket. And then that's what I had for the back side. So, what's important to me? Can you tell what's important to me? Can you tell the value areas that are important? You can tell some of them by them having their own sections, right? Their own inserts. And the other things that are important to me should be reflected on my daily pages. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm using. I'm really liking it. And like I said, I'm not so fearful. I can make my own inserts, and it may not be true to A5 size, but I just use a piece of letter size paper and I fold it in half, and that works for me. And so it does have, maybe just the slightest bit of hangover like on that dashboard, but it doesn't really bother me because it's kind of clear. That Hobonichi may just push out everything else. But I don't plan on painting a whole lot in there or adding a lot of not too many stickers, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm going to use it. And if it gets to where it's hanging over a little bit, then that's just the way it's going to be. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that regarding this setup, please leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to check the description box for more information. Also, if you have not already, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Until next time, bye.